the average homeowner is going to jump up, believe it or not. You know, take a guess what the average homeowner age is going to be this year. It's going to go up to this year.
You want me to take a guess?
I want you to just take a guess.
The average
there's no
age,
wrong answer.
I'm going to say... Welcome to another episode of Smoove Conversations with your host, DJ D Smoove. I got a special guest with me today, y'all. It is the realtor rock star, Tony Reece.
Good to be here.
How you doing today, brother?
I am doing so unbelievably well.
There's
not even a word in the dictionary. So I took 35 dictionaries. I put them into ChatGPT, put all the very best words of how you could be into it, and ChatGPT was shut down for 30 minutes.
Ooh.
Gave me a good word, though.
What word did you get?
It's like a 730,
letter
word, yeah.
What did it start off with?
It started out with the F. It was the F word.
Tony,
but I'm great.
Dude, I'm so excited, man, to have you on the show, bro. You are freaking hilarious, and your energy is always exactly what this is, man. So
I'm so honored.
I appreciate you, man.
Oh my God, D Smoove in the house, right here.
No, Tony Reece in the house.
That's crazy. Well,
yeah,
D Smoove.
Yeah, man. So tell everybody what you do out there. What you specialize in?
You know, we specialize in. You could say real estate, right? But really, we specialize in meeting people and putting people together with their life, and that's all we do. We go out on a daily basis and we find out. We ask and attract, and we collect people, and hopefully they'll collect us.
Right. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, that's what we do.
So you've been a realtor for how long now?
21 years.
Nice.
21 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's cool. 2 decades, man.
2 decades.
Yeah, not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah, it's been great. I remember when I was first in the business, I had a wonderful lady. She's a legendary agent, and she told me, you're not going to be able to continue at this level of vibration. You're going to get a little dull and angry. You can't be this nice. And I said, the day that happens, I'm out of the business.
Ooh.
And that never happened, so I'm still here.
I like that. I like that. What year was that?
That was literally the year I started in about 2004.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's about when I met Linda.
Have you seen her since?
Yeah, she's a dear friend of mine. She's still in the business, still a legend. I love her to death. And I remind her all the time. I see her during the holidays at socials. I'm still here, Dave. I'm still here. And she said, you never changed.
Man, I love that. Dude, Tony, you always smiling. Your energy is always bright, man. Where do you get that from?
I really don't know. I've asked that question. I wake up every single day and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything, the smallest things. And I start with the smallest things every single day, and it compounds. My life is so beautiful. I'm surrounded by a beautiful family every day I wake up. I've got a beautiful wife and business partner, Sophie Reece. And she's been with me the entire time as a partner in real estate.
Shout out Sophie.
Sophie Reece. She hasn't killed me yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
If I end up dead, please investigate. But no, really, my kids, the dogs, Isabel, Colby. Isabel's in the business as well. She's a massive marketing agent for an amazing title company.
And I know them too, so I'm going to just shout them out again.
Shout
Sophie,
them out. Yeah,
Colby, what's up?
Sophie, Colby, Isabel. And the thing is, you wake up every day and you feed your dog, you hug your dog. I get a call with Jason Woodland almost every morning.
Shout out Jason.
Jason Woodland. And, I get him, I think 5 days a week because he gives me a buy one, get 10 free coaching passes.
Okay.
Because I've been doing it. I'm a 30-year client. No.
Wow.
But no, we talk, we laugh, and he's changed my life, and he's helped me. He's been that rock as well for us.
That's awesome. So
I'm so lucky to have him.
And where do you find amazing friends like that?
Man, I'll tell you what. I went shopping down at Nordstrom's, and they're very few down there.
That's
you just collect them over the years, and you're so lucky.
Right. And
now I'm just surrounded by legends at this stage. One advantage of getting a little bit older. I just turned 27 or so years old. I can't remember exactly how old I am, but no, I got into my 50s, and I realized that everyone around me is a legend. It's everywhere I look are people. I go to parties and I see you, and all these people are legends, and you think that law of attraction that you hear a lot about
100%
is true. It is as true as it gets.
You're right about that.
Oh, man.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks for considering me a legend in your circle, bro.
Of course I do, man.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, it was love at first sight, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Your beautiful family, and we were so honored to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Tony actually sold me my first home.
Yes. Oh, geez. What a cool deal.
Man, thank you so much. We've been in our home now, almost 3 years.
Oh, my goodness sakes.
I feel like it was just done 2 months ago, it feels like.
It goes by so fast.
So fast.
So fast.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Congratulations on the appreciation. Yeah. These diamonds don't come, you know.
You silly, man. Man, so tell me a little bit more about you and the real estate team and in the business. So like you guys been doing it for 21 years now. Have you been solely focused in Utah this entire time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a national referral network. We belong to a group called the Residential Real Estate Council, and it's the largest organization within the world.
Wow.
Holds the CRS designation, Certified Real Estate Specialist designation, the highest recognized in the world as well. And so outside of the referral network, we focus primarily here in Utah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been a long, fun journey. We started out with a small boutique style brokerage. It was wonderful. She trained me. She was like literally a general in the military, and she could swear like a general. I had to cover the phone so my kids couldn't hear her.
Right.
You know, she was just wonderful. And then moved on to Remax, and then to Berkshire Hathaway. And now we opened a little over a year ago 4U Real Estate.
Nice.
Greatest thing we've ever done.
And that's a newer division branch. What would you call it? Brokerage?
It's all brand new. Yeah,
Okay.
We designed the name. I wanted the word "you" in real estate because this industry finds itself a lot about me. I'm 21 years in the business, and I've done all these awards, and I've got so many awards on the wall, and it's all about me. And I wanted Sophie and I really wanted the word "you," so we were going to do like Utah. We had all these ideas, and then one day I just thought 4U because it is 4U.
It is 4U, right.
Like 4U Real Estate. So we put the logo together with some other Rainmaker comrade friends.
Shout out Rainmakers.
Rainmakers.
Yeah.
And it was born, and it was off the chart. I had no idea that it would be so powerful.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let me ask, sir. So you got 2 kids.
2 kids.
One of your kids is in the real estate business, just like yourself.
Yes.
And your wife, of course.
Yes.
So she's obviously admiring. She's watching your steps. Yeah. What kind of advice are you giving your daughter?
Isabel, she didn't follow in the real estate practice side of it. She got into marketing for a large title company here in Utah. Very, very powerful people. And she launched this company with the owners. So she's original. And it became one of the top title companies in the state of Utah over the last 2 years. And she won the Affiliate of the Year out of the Salt Lake Board of Realtors last year.
Congratulations.
Unbelievable. She's not only the youngest person to ever win the award and be recognized, but she's also the newest in the industry, about 5 years in the business.
Wow.
So she really has made a huge impact. So I think it's more what I learned from her now, because I've become the student with her. She is such a genius person. And my son, he's not in the real estate industry, but he's in a whole nother practice, but he's the same thing. It's amazing. I have become a student of my children. They're just so beautiful and wonderful. And I learn so much every single day.
I love that.
Plus with therapy.
Right. I love that. you had to add that part of it.
Of course.
That's awesome, man. So, of course, obviously, we know about your real estate venture.
Yeah.
But you have another venture as well, too. And you're a rock star, bro.
I don't like to brag about it because it's hard to walk down the streets, like even getting in here today. I have to park in the back of the corner. It's really aggressive. I went to Harmon's before here to buy a brush, and they wouldn't let me pay for it. But no, 15 years ago, I have some dear friends that are amazing musicians, and they had a studio not too far from here, and I played the drums, but Scott, we had a drummer. He's a very good drummer.
Right.
And so I just would sit there and listen. And one day I just grabbed the mic and I started singing lyrics, just random lyrics. Some of them were some that Peter had written. And it was fun. It was just a lot of fun to sing, and nobody believes they have a good singing voice, by the way. That's not very many people do.
Right.
And I certainly didn't think I did, and I still don't. But we just started turning into a Wednesday, let's jam, every Wednesday. And we would record, and we had fun, and we had no expectations.
Mhm.
Well, then our dear friend Mike Simmons invited us to do. He came to a couple of our what you'd call rehearsals.
Right.
Want us to do a show at the warehouse for a big grand opening. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, we did a show there. We ended up doing 7 shows that year. We did Rice Eccles Stadium. We did Powder Mountain. Now, Rice Eccles, we just did the restaurant level. We didn't fill the arena.
Okay.
So just for the record, but we did the, we just did all these fun shows, park shows, Freedom. All of them were for charity.
Mhm.
You know, one was for the Taylor Hagen Foundation, which is suicide awareness, which is one of my big passions.
Yes.
And they were all for charity. They were all for Coats for Kids or something. Believe you me, I'm 1,300,000 away from being a millionaire in music.
I like that.
Yeah, so
I
I'm
like
a ways away.
You silly, man. So tell me, is it just you? Do you have is your group? Tell me about the name of the group, the members of the group.
Okay. Well, we're the Slick Rock Drifters.
Okay.
And we're a bunch of gentlemen in their 40s and 50s. Most of the music came from Moab. I'm a Moab junkie. I've been going down there for over 25, 30 years. And Red Rocks of Lake Powell. And the music really just sort of generated through those experiences.
Yeah.
We'd sit and write music about all kinds of amazing things. We also wrote music about our relationships with our wives and our families and all this sort of thing. And it was a great way for just, getting stuff out and having fun with your brothers. And so everything is obviously original music. And then we found, we started taking it a little bit more serious, and the law of attraction again. We meet Constantine Mathia, who is a world-renowned keyboardist.
Wow.
And Sophie helps him build a beautiful home and a ranch on 5 acres, and he has a studio that would just drop your chin. And I'm like drooling over this guy, like, oh my God, we're going to be best friends.
Right,
and I tried to not smother him during the process. And
right.
he reminded me he's Greek, and he's very, here's how we're going to do this.
Yes.
And I was patient with him, and I let them get the house done. And I said, now you're mine. You're my best friend now, sorry.
Love
and
that.
Since then, we have become just the dearest friend. He's family. He's a Christmas Day dinner at the house person.
That's awesome.
But he happens to be one of the best keyboardists I've ever seen, and I would still love him if he was a terrible keyboardist, but
right.
He happens to be one of the greatest keyboardists in the world. And then we also have Brandon Manchico, who we attracted. I've known him for years, and he agreed to record an album for us. And we recorded the album Freedom, and it was just a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
It's great therapy, and we had a blast doing it.
Right.
I
like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of your album Freedom, I played one of your songs earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Rainbow Unicorn.
Yes. Dude, the guitar in there shreds.
Yeah.
The pianist shreds. Bro.
Yeah.
So you guys make some very cool music.
It's good.
And for those who obviously follow me on social media, I had your song as the headline song for the post leading up to today. So
wow,
I was really in love with that song. So phenomenal work, bro.
Oh, thank you. And when we recorded that album, it took over 2 years. And we were in the studio, old school studio, not a new technology, but old school style, where I thought, we'll do this thing in a month. It was like, can we have this by the end of the year?
Right.
And it was Thanksgiving.
Right.
And Brandon looked at me like, you're out of your mind. And I would go and sing for hours. I lost my voice, and we would get like 8 seconds of the song done. Not really, but it was like 20, it wasn't the whole song.
Right.
And so I'd go back, 4 sessions of brute 4 or 5 hours of singing this to get one song sung, and all the instruments had to do that over the course of 2 years because we also have jobs.
Exactly. Y'all was making a movie.
Yeah,
That's
it was
like.
over 2 years before we got it all completed.
And when it was completed, how did you feel about that?
I was really, really happy with it. I was like, man, how fun is this? How fun is this? If it makes even one person happy, and that's all we're in it for. We have no expectations. We're not going to go hit the road and do a 32 show world tour. But if it just, if we have some fun with it, do some live shows, do some charities, raise some money with it. If we do something good with it, I'm just totally happy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thanks.
Now, Tony, I want to take some of your wisdom here. So maybe the young person out there listening to this, wanting to start a band, he knows or she knows that they have a very special talented gift with a specific instrument, whatever they may be.
Yes.
And they just need some other teammates to join the party. What kind of advice would you give that individual looking for other teammates to join their party to create a band and do amazing things with that?
You know, it will just happen naturally. You don't even need to think about it. You don't even need to put a plan together. You can just start really thinking about what you want and start mentioning it to people, and it'll come to you. Because when we needed a keyboardist, Constantine showed up. I met him in front of a house within 2 weeks.
Wow.
My wife's helping him build. When Brandon showed up, who I've known for many, many years anyway, but he showed up, the same thing. We wanted to do an album, and somehow we probably threw a Christmas party or something, a few whisper down the lanes, and Brandon said, you know, I've got Manchito Studios.
Right.
And all of a sudden he's with us, you know.
Amazing.
And it just happens. That's what's so beautiful about life, is it just happens. You don't have to really over plan or think anything out in this life. You just have to decide what you want and wake up every day and keep it right in here and in here, heart and head.
Heart and head.
Right.
Yep.
And just focus on that. Sophie has a tattoo of a lightning bolt on her. It's from Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Where focus goes, where focus goes, energy flows, right?
Ooh,
or you know, something of that nature.
That's good.
And so I was reading that stuff when I was a young man. I was not even driving a car, and I was studying Tony Robbins and these types of lots and lots of other coaches.
Right.
And that stuff works, and it works very quickly.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you said repeat that one more time, man, because that's brilliant.
Well, the part about
the light bulb.
Yeah. Where focus goes, energy flows.
Where focus goes,
yes,
energy flows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, and if people don't believe it, and they, oh, I've heard of this before, I say, well, listen, why don't you try to think about something terribly terrible, and put it on someone you love right now, because you wouldn't dare do it.
Exactly.
Now turn that around and make it good.
Right.
And that will happen too. You know, it's also scary how that works, but it's beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of where energy flows, going back to your real estate venture there, obviously you got to have clients. You have to have people who like you. You have to have people who follows your energy. You know, follow your belief, and they don't smell that commission breath.
Oh yeah.
But they feel and dearly love Tony Reece and Sophie Reece for who they are.
Yes.
What does the day in, day out look like for you guys running your real estate business to have that energy, that flow?
You know, it's interesting you say that, because we've never really ran our business by commission. It's by serving people. You know, we don't ever count our commission. We don't ever and I realize Jason Woodland's going to probably kill me. We should do more projections on numbers and things like that. But I wake up every day and I have a prayer I say every day, and it's universal creation. Thank you for the joyful abundance that continually enters my life on a daily basis. Thank you for the joyful abundance that's about to enter my life today. And I say it with just, thank you for the joyful abundance about our life of my friends and family and people I love and care about. Thank you for the healthy cells. Thank you for the healthy body. I know there's nothing that you have I can't take if I just reach out.
I love that.
Yeah, I say it every day over and over again. And you got to say it with this fire inside your stomach, almost like you're letting a child win a board game. You know when you're letting a child win a board game and then you always win? Right. You want your kid to win, and you're almost cheating for them to win, and you still win every time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
That's how life needs to be. You need to, that's in my opinion. And so every day we wake up and we say that, and the phone rings, and it rings multiple times a day for us, and we're so grateful. And it's always just the most amazing story. Tony, I was just referred to you by so-and-so.
Yes. And
Tony, you just helped my sister, you just helped my cousin, you just helped this. I'm moving here. Lots of previous clients. We've served over 800 clients. So we have a vast majority of people that we work with. So so that's what it is every single day. It just, beautiful opportunities walk into our lives.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about the business?
You know, I like the analytics and the numbers, and it's kind of boring for most people. I have to be really careful, because I love to see where the market's going, where it's been. You determine the future by the past. I love to read analytic reports, absorption reports, how many months on the market. And I use these things in addition to our typical ways of valuing properties off the past, just to determine, hey, this one pocket of Utah could have a 1.2 month inventory, and just 2 blocks away could be a 4-month inventory, and that's going to modify the pricing a little bit. So I love all the numbers. So my biggest downfall is I need to try to explain all that to people without boring them.
Okay.
You know, and Sophie, during the recession, we used to be a shotgun agents, right side by side. We thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
when the recession happened, we actually were forced to financially and everything to divide more. And I had to go out on different and find, I actually had a part-time job and all kinds of stuff back during the recession. I worked at a friend's car lot and for about 4 months. But during that time, Sophie continued on her path. And then I generated an entirely different path in that 4 months in real estate. So now daily, she runs her entire own book of business, here, over 10 years later, 12 years later, and I run my entire own book of business. And then we just merge each other. Can you go open this house? Can you, on the way in here, I have an addendum that needed to be drafted very quickly before 5. Can you draft this addendum? Yes. And so we're just constantly, where are you at? You have your laptop? Yeah. Can you go show this house? Can you open this house? Can you get, can you run a value? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? So we help each other that way. And then that way she doesn't want to kill me.
Right.
So that's nice.
That's brilliant. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk to the different eras here.
Yeah.
Starting with mine, really.
Please.
So I think I'm a millennial, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you are.
Shout out to millennials out there. Speaking to the millennials out there, when they're buying either their first, let's just start with first-time home buyers.
Perfect.
What advice would you give a first-time home buyer in 2025?
My advice is you get rid of absolutely everything you need to buy a home in Utah. I mean, you do not drink Starbucks. You eat very economic. You forget the trips. Your vacation is Liberty Park. You're going to walk the park.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, in Utah, especially over the next 5 years, they're saying that a reasonable projected median is going to be up around 860. Many are saying it points up towards 1.1 million.
Wow.
Median. Currently, we're in the mid-5s, give or take,
Okay.
mid to low 5s. So with that said, there will come a time where it will be very impossible for people to build, first-time people to buy homes.
Yeah.
And they'll require transfer of wealth and things like that to own a home. The average homeowner is going to jump up, believe it or not. Take a guess what the average homeowner age is going to be this year. It's going to go up to this year.
You want me to take a guess?
I want you to just take a guess.
Average
there's no wrong answer.
I'm going to say 50.
That's incredible. 52.
Hey, let's go.
That's incredible. Wow. I mean, I didn't even wink at him,
I studied analytics.
Yeah. He's like, I've been studying real estate for 35 years.
Right.
So 52 years old, and mostly because they'll be able to inherit enough money to buy a house at that stage, or obviously they'll be able to save money as well.
Right.
But, whatever sacrifice you have, and your wants and needs list should be very low. Your number one goal should be to get on the books. Just get on the books. 3 to 5 years from now, it won't matter.
Right.
3 to 5 years from now, more than likely, if everything goes as planned, you'll be equity wealthy.
That's great advice.
Well, and you consider the average renter net worth is right around $10,000. The average homeowner is about $250,000 for net worth.
I did not know that.
That is a fact. You can Google that. Some people say it's as high as 469,000. Some will say 280. I just kind of go about $250,000. I think that's a pretty safe guess.
Yeah.
So.
Now, would you recommend, let's say I get a home, I'm in my home, do I hold my home, or do I, if I need to leave, do I make it into a rental unit, or I don't know if this is advice you can give or not. But
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to think of 5 years from now for those who are in their homes as a millennial.
Yeah.
What should be our game plan?
There's a lot of different mortgages and options coming out right now that are allowing you to keep your home and leverage your home.
Okay.
So I say leverage your asset if you're able to buy another one, because I've never met anybody in my life who's like, oh, thank God I sold that home in 1995, never, or even 2000, right?
Right.
And so it just doesn't happen. So every time you sell a home, you're going to feel really terrible about it in the next 10 to 15 years, in most cases in Utah especially. So leverage if you can, keep it as a rental if you can. However, sometimes it's smarter, depending on where your home is, to simply sell it and throw that money into your next home and get your dream home, or start moving toward your dream home.
Makes sense.
Great
advice. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna jump the topic a little bit. You awesome, bro. Awesome.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'll probably forget everything I said here.
It's okay. We're gonna have a recap, so there's no worries. I wanted to jump into basically the event scene.
Yeah.
So obviously I see you out there in the community. You're building one community. You're building relationships.
Right.
And then you're you're at these events, not
Right.
only throwing them, but also a participant of them,
Yes.
or even just a volunteer.
Oh yeah.
What inspired you to get more into those events? I know you mentioned the Taylor Hagen's
Taylor Hagen Foundation,
things
right?
like that. But like, what kind of inspired you to get into those type of events?
You know, there is such a reward. This business is so rewarding in a way that we're able to give back. So we've been a part of literally. I've actually emceed about 150 events out of the Salt Lake board.
That's amazing.
In fact, I'm heading to St. George in 5 days to MC. They've asked me to come out as a guest to MC a charity there to actually build money for RPAC, which is governmental affairs.
Okay.
And we're very big into governmental affairs. There's a lot of stuff we do behind the scenes that people would never believe. We don't just sell homes. We actually walk the streets of Washington, D.C., and we protect property rights. And we actually fight to make it so the government doesn't include sales tax on services and transfer fees. So every time you sell a house, a portion of that goes to the state of Utah. But not with us. We're one of 13 states in the country that does not have that. So could you imagine you're selling your house and you have to give $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 to the state?
Yeah.
We've been fighting that every single year. And so these events they're either those types of events, or they're charities, or they're fundraisers. Most of them are fundraisers and charities for cancer research and suicide awareness. The Taylor Hagen Foundation is not really affiliated with realtors, although we have a huge group of realtors that support, because most of us are realtors, a part of that. So yeah, it's for me, it fills my cup. You know, I have to spend I would say about 50 days a year doing something for the community or my industry.
Okay.
That's very important to me, to give back to the industry, show how much I love it. It's a ritual, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for giving me the life my dream life. I probably wouldn't need to do that anymore. You know, I'm probably okay. I don't need to, but it's like disrespectful to what's given so much to me.
Right.
If I just abandon it.
You feel like it's part of your DNA to give back.
It is.
To serve. Okay.
Sophie's as well, and Sophie's on the exact same page. So driving with your wife, your beautiful wife and partner, to an event like a holiday social, or a fundraiser I am really lucky, because there's not very many married couples that are doing real estate together.
You're right about that.
So
you're very right. And I've been in rooms with other realtors like yourself, and that's something I've noticed as well. So you're hands down right.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out, you guys.
Appreciate it.
What have you learned about networking?
Networking is everything. And I'll tell you, networking, as a member of the Rainmakers have been so unbelievable for us. I mean, and again, no expectations. I didn't expect anything from the Rainmakers.
Right.
And we have been so beyond blessed by the Rainmakers with business and friendship. But I want to be able to share people with other people.
Yes.
That's what I want to do. That's one of my side jobs. That's my side hustle. You know, how do I share, life insurance? You got Jason Woodland, business mentoring. Of course, Jason Woodland covers 2 big stones there, but we got DJ. I mean, when I refer you to do a show, it's like, man, you can't believe what you're going to get,
much love.
Because it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. I'm surrounded by the best.
Thank you.
And so, everything from we have such a great group of people,
We do.
and so it's fun to share. So the networking for me, I selfishly do it in a way that I want to give them away to people.
What advice would you give someone, maybe that may be a middle-aged man,
Yep.
that just started his own business, his own venture, or her,
Yes.
and they want to meet more people? What advice would you give, Tony?
I would definitely, for me, I would find a fundraiser of some sort that you already have something in common, right? So you have passion already before you create the relationship. So if you have a passion to help find a cure for cancer, or for any other ailment, right? Or it could be a fundraiser for a really cool organization, Children's Hospital. So when you guys meet, you're already on the same page. You're already doing the exact same thing. It's like meeting someone at Disneyland. You're going to smile and give them a hug. And so now you're going to start loading trucks. You're going to take your shirt off because you're sweating to death. You're exhausted. You're loading trucks for 12 hours. You're setting stuff up. You're delirious. And you find yourself sitting in the back of a truck, sprawled over, staring at each other like, who are you again?
Right.
You do that about 5, 6, 7 years, and that person becomes family. And sometimes you don't even know what they do for a while, and then one day you're kind of like, what exactly do you do? You're a lender for this, or you're this or that, or whatever, or what. It doesn't matter what they do. But what happens is that person now becomes their family now. We've literally bled in the trenches. So find something you're passionate about,
right,
and then go find an organization that needs your service for you to volunteer. I'm lucky. Real estate there is a dime a dozen. I've got 30 committees I could join that benefits so many different chapters. I can only choose about 3 or 4 a year. So,
yeah, no problem. That's cool. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something, and I think this is going to be helpful.
Okay.
You recently went on a new journey where you stopped drinking.
Yes.
What? I mean, tell me. I'm not even going to ask the question.
Yeah.
Please tell me about your journey on the decision of why you decided to stop drinking.
Yeah.
And the benefits of your life now today.
Yeah.
Since you have stopped.
Well, I woke up about 16 months ago now. Here we are in May. 16 months ago, I woke up and I went, holy smokes. I got on a scale and I literally about died. I knew I was a big guy, still am obviously, but I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
They write songs about these pounds. These are on a lot of country western songs, talking about men this heavy. And usually it involves a horse. So I right then said, enough's enough. I'm done. So what can I start doing? What decisions can I start making? And so, I started rowing on my grotto rower, 15, 20 minutes a day. And that turned into about an hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just about 3 million meters now, actually, in that time frame, 3 million meters. I don't know how many miles that is, probably from here to Provo is all, but no. But I also looked at, when I started doing that stuff, I started realizing, what else am I doing? I started studying like what alcohol does when it goes into the body and the true poison of alcohol. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I really didn't enjoy drinking that much. So it wasn't too hard to say no, but that's what I thought. That's what I thought. You see,
tell me more.
This is easy. I don't even like to drink. Right. Well, then what happens is I'm in a realtor. So you go to DC and there's rooftop open bars. And then there's parties here with open bars. And for a person that hardly drinks at my own home,
yes,
I'm a when in Rome drinker. But I'm in Rome almost every day somewhere, right? And I'm like, my goodness, this is really hard. And some of these people know the exact drinks I like, and they brought them in for me as a gift type deal. And I'm going, my goodness sakes, this is harder than I thought, because it would become such a social thing to drink.
Yes. And
so even though I wasn't per se right where I was alcohol dependent, I guess you could call it, I enjoyed it, the when in Rome scenarios. That's really got hard. So then I turned to non-alcoholic beer. I'm like, hey, this will solve everything.
Right.
So they bring me, and that's good. It's like, wow, this is non-alcoholic beer. It's got 60 calories. And then you would tell the bartenders, hey, I don't drink anymore. What can you make? And they'd get so excited. They're like, dude, you're not going to believe this. I can make you this mocktail, super healthy. It's got mushroom, the mushroom stuff and all that stuff, and I'm going to blow your mind. And I'm drinking that going, this is delicious.
Yeah, I believe it.
And so I slowly phased away from it. And, if I'm somewhere right now and somebody pops a bottle of champagne open, I'll have a little sip of champagne. I mean, I'm not completely, abandoned it, but I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And at 10 months, I didn't crave it. And at 10 months, I started having natural euphoric highs that I'd never had before.
Okay.
And now I just live. My only addiction is coffee. I love coffee. So
and I wanted to bring you some today.
I drink 2 coffees a day. I drink at least 2 coffees a day.
Yeah.
And no more than 3 though.
No more than 3?
Yeah. And I cut off at 6, or I'm on the bed like this, on the side of the bed, staring at the wall. So, but yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that. And I just got to where I couldn't understand why would I go somewhere and numb myself? Like, why would I be on the rooftop of a DC hotel with my wife and I'm trying to numb myself? Why would I be with my rock band and I want to numb myself? What am I trying to numb myself from? Why would I go to Moab and numb myself? I want to feel every bit it has to offer. I don't want to reduce this. And so that was my big why, is I wanted to be really, really connected with people.
That's powerful, man.
Thank you.
That's very powerful.
It's been beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I've never shared that quite like that before. So
Well, I feel honored,
yeah,
baby. Hey,
yeah.
smooth conversations, baby. Man, Tony, I wanna jump back into just the realtor. You as the realtor.
Yes.
Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are entering the market of wanting to become a realtor.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, they see a lot of realtor. I think Utah, we have a very large population of realtors out here. I would say
About 10,000.
about 10,000,
maybe 11.
That's crazy. So for those who out there, maybe they don't have the leadership or the veteran to lean on like yourself.
Yes.
I mean, if they're new in their business, I mean, let's start with leads. What's a good place to get leads?
Leads, the best place is your sphere of influence, your people that love you and care about you. And if you've got a really good product that you can serve, focus on that. Focus within the people that you love. And what will happen is they'll refer people to you that they love and they care about, and then so on and so forth. Before you know it, within a few years, the thing is, time is the only thing. The time is the only difference between a good and bad realtor, honestly. As long as you're good, committed, and you're not a troublemaker.
Right.
If you just stay focused and you have a plan, you wake up every day with passion and you go search for it, you're going to find it. And 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, just like almost any other business, you're going to be very successful in real estate. And you'll accomplish whether you want to make, some people just want to make a side income enough to cover, maybe pay the college off, and then maybe push into, making it so somebody can stay home and take care of the kids.
Yes.
We have a lot of those. Or some people, I have friends that live a pretty lavish lifestyle, and everybody starts out with the same amount of money in real estate on January 1st for that year, the coming year. And you actually, in my opinion, you pay a portion of that money, that commission, to live whatever lifestyle you choose. So if you want to be totally ultra chill 7 hours a day, you might make $30,000 that year, whatever that is. If you want to go work 8-10 hours a day, put your head down, be willing to work Saturdays and Sundays, you can push yourself up into a much higher financial goal. So it's just time. Stick with it, and learn the stuff that makes you money. Stop going to meetings. I see all these realtors, I beg them, stop going to meetings that don't make you money. Knowledge does not mean you're going to make money in real estate. You want to have the knowledge when you need it, but at first, use your broker for the knowledge. That's the reason you have a broker.
Right.
Go out and do the things that raise clients and makes you money. Stop with the designations. Stop with all the wasted organizing your paper clips and going to the board events. When you're successful and doing really well, then start going to the board events and giving your time. I suggest people, I was in the business, Sophie and I, probably 5 to 7 years before we started giving our time back.
Wow.
Because we were so busy building our business.
Right.
Give back when you've got the true resources to give back.
Okay. That's phenomenal advice.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope somebody out there listening catches on to that and practice that.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously going to change your life.
I hope so.
Yeah. Why do you like Moab so much? Moab, Utah.
Oh, boy. Oh.
I love Moab. I don't know why you love Moab so much.
When you said that, it was like when I saw my wife for the first time. I mean, not quite as powerful when I saw my wife for the first time.
I'll take it, though. I'll take it.
But it's the cousin of seeing my wife for the first time when I was 16 years old. It did. It just made me tingle. It gave me butterflies, and it just made my head a little dizzy.
Hey, let's go.
And so there's an energy down there. I'm telling you, there's an energy. I've been hundreds of times over the years. We started out, of course, biking and hiking as young, more financially growing people, let's just say it that way. And then we got 4-wheelers, and then we started getting a couple trailers and side-by-sides and motorhomes and Jeeps and everything else as we went. But, mostly I like just the old camping out in, the BLM. We're in a tent or even in the back of the vehicle.
Yep.
And, you go down to the fire with your best friends. I have about 15 friends that go down consistently for 25 years.
That's amazing.
And meet at the community fire and just talk about life. And what's beautiful about this is these guys all just we all brag about our families and our kids now and our lives. It's not a negative, we don't vent. It's all positive.
Right.
These guys are the most beautiful people. And so I'm really lucky. And several of them are part of my band. So,
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, Tony.
Yeah.
When Tony's in his car.
Yeah.
What's Tony listening to?
What am I listening to?
Yeah, what kind of music do Tony like?
You would not even believe it if I told you, man. I go from Baroque music to AC/DC to Iron Maiden to Blues Traveler. I don't have a Monday music day or a Wednesday. I go to 50s. I go to 20s music.
Wow.
I have the most interesting, Van Halen, and Van Hagar.
Yeah.
I'm very diversified. 99% of the time I listen to Slick Rock Drifters, of course.
Of course you got to listen.
99% of the time.
Yes.
But the other 1% I divided up between every genre imaginable. So yeah, I mean, Nathaniel Rateliff, beautiful band and friends of ours and stuff. They're a great group if you've never seen him. But yeah, we just any music, man. I'm so open-minded. I love it. What you had going in here was so great.
Hey, appreciate that.
Got me so pumped up, ready to get on the show. I walked in here and just lit.
Hey, let's go. Thank you. Well, Tony, what do you want to say to the people? Well, before I even get to that question, real quick.
Okay.
Where can we find you on social media?
Tony Reece, Slick Rock Drifters, for the band, Tony Reece, REECE, and 4U Real Estate. And that's the number 4, YOU.
Number 4.
Number 4, YOU Real Estate.
Real Estate. Yeah,
spelled out. Or RE, actually. You could just abbreviate RE. But yeah, Tony Reece, Sophie Reece, we've been on social for so many years. You can't not find us on there.
Okay.
I had the same phone number. Jason Woodland sold me the phone I have. Same phone number 30 years ago.
He told me on the episode he was on.
Yeah.
I did not believe it. Yeah, you're here right now.
I still have it.
To tell me it is true.
The same phone number since, so it hasn't been 30. It was 1998-ish.
Oh my goodness.
So 27 years, whatever. Same phone number for 27 years. So I still have my old, people from 27 years ago call me.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Is this still Tony Reece?
Right. Who else?
Who's this?
Right, exactly. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Any shout outs or any events that you got coming up that we should be
Oh my goodness sakes. We do have we are planning a show in October, and we don't have the date planned exactly yet. I can't remember exactly when we're thinking. It's going to be a Friday in October. We're going to play at Masonic Temple.
Ooh, that's beautiful there.
Yeah, it's going to be for Right Care of Utah for speech therapy, and I'm so excited about that show. It's in the arena at the Salt Lake Temple. So many people want to see the Masonic Temple, and we had a very special invitation to play in that arena, over 100 years old.
That's amazing.
So that's going to be incredible.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So that's going to be really fun for the band. We have just so many things always going on, like all the time. I'm going to St. George next week, but there's lots of great things coming up in real estate. People are going to be very, very excited about what's happening over the next year, and we're ready for it.
I know you guys are.
Yeah.
Y'all been ready for it for 21 years. Let's go. Come on, man. That's that's strong right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything else that you want to say while we're live?
I just want to say, stay happy, stay grateful. Focus on yourself. Make sure you're okay. And if you're not okay, reach out and get some help. On the way here, I found out that a dear client of mine took their life, and it was these stories are prevalent. Are just too many are out there. Speak to somebody. Find out what's going on. Get yourself taken care of. Mental health is so important, and I just beg everybody, if you're feeling this way, you're not supposed to feel this way. So just go get yourself fixed. It's just like if somebody drank too much and they don't feel well and they're sick.
Right.
Well, you're not feeling well and you're sick because you just drank 7 shots of whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with these types of mental challenges. You're really not supposed to feel this way, so go get help.
Yes.
That's my biggest thing, and I want to thank the Rainmakers. I want to thank you for this and the inspiration that you're doing for the people. You're one of my favorite humans on the planet.
Thank you, brother.
And I want to thank the Rainmakers. I want to thank my family, my wife, my business partner Sophie, and just love you guys all so much.
Man, we love you too, Tony. Thank you so much for your time and attention coming on the show. I know you're busy. Man, you always dress so fly. Always ready for the call, man. Do you need me to meet somewhere? Yep, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I love it, man.
I'll be there in 5 minutes.
I know that's right. Tony, thank you so much for coming on the show, brother. This is Smoove Conversations Podcast with DJ D Smoove. We just had Tony Reece on the show. And Tony, before I let you go, I'm going to let you introduce your song to the people there.
Okay. Well, which one do you want to do? Are we going to do Dingo?
Yeah.
You know, this song started out with so many moving parts, but this is Dingo, and it's a song that brings people together, and I'm so proud of it. And we actually, real quick, we brought everybody to a warehouse. We actually invited like 100 people. I think 60 showed up or so to just sing the end part of this. So we had like multiple microphones and our producers and everyone there, and had all these people show up just to sing the last portion of the song.
I remember seeing this on your stories. Actually.
Yeah.
I remember you doing this. So this is the song.
Yeah, and a lot of the people there was like an influencer there that had like 7 million followers, and she's walking around, and we do this, and she's like, "When's the concert?" She thought she was coming to see us in concert.
Yeah.
And all they were doing was singing the last portion of the song, and it was just beautiful. So
well, cool.
We had a lot of fun.
Go ahead and introduce it to us.
Okay. Well, this is off our Freedom album, and this song is Dingo.
This is Dingo. Much love, y'all. We'll see y'all on the next show.
That was so fun, dude.
That was awesome,
You make
bro.
that so fun.
Thank you, man. You too, bro.